Hey everybody, welcome to Seeking Truth, Finding Frank and Fraser. I'm Frank, and let's see if we can get Fraser on now. So I sent the invite. We're gonna continue our talk about the Constitution. We're gonna continue with Article 3, Amendment 3, quartering soldiers. And it says, no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. So they can't come into your house and stay in your house unless there's a law. They can't force themselves in, so they can't do it. Okay, and maybe we'll hit Article 4 too. And unreasonable search and seizure. Well, we'll start with number 3 first, and let's see if Fraser's going to come on, and let me tell him I'm on. Via test Facebook Messenger. So, wait. I need to do this for a second. So you can look up my ceiling for a minute. Let's see what happens now. Fraser's typing something. This is really interesting. Okay, now he knows. He has seen it, and he knows. Seeing is believing, folks. Alright, I know my hands look giant, but that's where the camera is. Alright, so I'm just waiting for Fraser. Really not much to say. I hate doing these things alone. Wait a minute. What are these face mask thingies? There we go. Yeah, here we go. Blues Brothers. Where's the Star Wars one? Kind of like the Star Wars one. I'll exit out when he comes on, if he makes it. The Star Wars one is gone? No. Ah, screw it. I'll hide it. Add. It's adding. Adding. All through the faces. It's adding. There he is. Hi, Fraser. How you
Hey, man.
doing?
Oh, I'm pretty tired. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, we can make it short tonight if you want. We don't have to go long. If you're tired.
I think we probably should. I just set my alarm for 5:30 and I thought, ooh, that seems close.
Oh man, yeah. All right. We're,
It's all
wow. All right. Yeah. So article. Well, the Third Amendment
number
is not really
three.
that long. So
I read it though. I have some questions.
sure. Uh,
Primarily, I live in an apartment. Does
yeah.
that
Well,
apply
you're
to
in
me?
Canada also. You're in
No, but
Canada.
if I was in
You're.
an apartment in America, I mean, if I was living in an American apartment building,
Of course.
I don't think it does it?
Yes. Of course. Yeah.
Let's read it again. It says houses
No.
only.
Okay.
I'm just being silly.
No soldier shall, in time
What
of
about a trailer
peace, be
park?
quartered in any house, yeah, without consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. So basically, what it's saying is they can't come into your house. Well, your house, whether you rent or you own, is still your house. It's your private
Okay,
property. They can't come in.
that's good.
That's the spirit of the Third Amendment.
But
They can't force
I have
themselves in. They can't
one,
stay.
I watched one quick one, and it was either on that one directly or indirectly through sort of the time of war stuff. Like it was one like that one had never been applied, but Congress has the right to kind of override basic civil rights in a time of war. It's like they can change things, like
I don't think they can
conscription.
amend that. I don't think they can do that to the.
Conscription. Imagine conscription.
I
And now all of a
don't
sudden we're at war, and they all say like, "Hey guys,
I'm
we've
gonna
got to
Google
share our
that.
houses." You know what I
I'm
mean?
actually going to Google that.
But there was something about Congress can kind of override stuff during war. Like war times allow them special sort of stuff. And that maybe that one, it had never been challenged, but it might be one of those ones. Imagine when Canada finally invades, just like tramples Chicago, like we're just coming down the eastern seaboard like a bunch of frozen monkeys. And just, no, I'm just kidding. But like at some point, it's just like everyone kind of decides, like, okay, we can go do this stuff.
Okay.
Imagining abandoned houses. Are you
Right.
allowed to
Well,
just take over
abandoned
an
doesn't.
abandoned house without their
I think it.
permission?
I don't think abandoned houses fit that because they're abandoned. I don't know if they're unowned. So, well, it
No, no,
says
no.
here
I'm just
Congress
talking about
cannot.
like half of Detroit right now. You know,
Yeah, I
they're
know.
owned
Yeah.
by someone, but they're unused because there aren't enough jobs there, as it were.
I don't think
And
they're
then,
owned. There's a lot of people foreclosed on the houses. So if the bank owns them, can Congress do that? Or
let's
that's a good
say,
question
okay,
too.
let's say because everyone in Chicago gets, no, what's a close city to Canada? Detroit. Let's say
Detroit,
because
Detroit.
Detroit, they're scared, right? They're next to these
Well, how about
frozen tigers.
you know what? How about we
So
use Niagara Falls?
we,
Because
no, no,
Niagara
no,
Falls
I'm
is in
just,
New York. Go ahead, go ahead.
so, so what happens is that Canada threatens, like Trudeau just goes batshit and he says, we're attacking Detroit. They're all scared. So they all get out of town. Everyone gets out of Dodge. And then the army says, they get scared. They move the National Guard from the southern border to the northern border. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's winter. They know that Detroit has been abandoned. Like people will come back, but can we go in without the owner's permission and just stay there the
Mm-hmm.
winter to try? It'll be a futile effort to fight back the Canadians. But I mean, just in the effort,
If you talk, yeah, I don't see today Canadians being that tough.
have you seen the winter? Did I talk about the winter we just lived through? Are you
Yeah,
kidding?
you
I've
did.
got skin like this thick. You need like armor piercing rounds to get through this stuff. It's insulated, like, and I don't think
Oh, it's
those are
funny.
legal, are they? Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Armor piercing, not for civilians, for the army, not for civilians. So
That's
the
it. You guys don't have a chance.
so yeah,
But what about this National Guard getting sent down to the southern border? Trump was talking about sending the National Guard to stop this
yes,
caravan thing. That
yes,
was
he wants
weird,
to
no?
secure the border. He wants to send the National
No, he
Guard
was.
until the wall is built. He's going to send the National Guard to secure the border.
Oh, the whole general. Oh, I thought it was for that one caravan of people.
No, it's the whole
Oh,
thing.
okay, okay. Oh, okay, okay. As a general. Oh, I see. Because I heard it was like briefly on
What's
the news. I was
funny?
like, weird.
What's funny is when Congress came up with their bill, they added funding, additional funding for the National Guard. So Trump is using that now, that funding in order to secure the border. Very smart guy. I wouldn't put anything past him. These little things he's using.
Sending the army to a border is.
Well, doesn't every, we're going to get into border wars, which I didn't want to get into.
I'm
We'll
not
talk about
getting
the
in. I'm
Constitution,
trying not to get into a
but,
border wars. Whenever one country
but,
sends an army to its border, it has every right to do so, but it sends a big
but yes, to
armor
Mexico.
piercing message.
There is a huge drug war going on in Mexico right now. There are thousands of people
That's,
dying
I'm
every
no,
year.
no, 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 no,
And it's
Frank. I'm just
spilling onto
saying,
American
sending
soil.
an army to the
No,
border sends a huge message that was not sent
absolutely.
yesterday. It was just sent today. We're
Absolutely.
sending the army to the Mexican border, the National
Right.
Guard. They kind of look
It's
like
a,
the army.
no, it's an extension of the army. But yeah, it sends a huge
It's.
message to
I'm just
Mexico.
saying, it's
Don't.
sending a message. I understand.
Absolutely.
There's justifications. I'd rather not get into them tonight. Like I said, I'll probably crash earlier tonight. But
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
glad I reassured all the people in apartments and trailer parks,
Yeah,
high rises. I
I
don't know.
think it
Quartering. We
goes.
didn't have high rises back then.
I think it applies to occupied housing. So if something is
It makes
abandoned
sense.
or
Yeah,
occupied.
yeah, yeah.
I think a soldier can be quartered in there. They don't have
It
to
makes
ask.
perfect sense.
But
But it's like if someone's there and you just move in with them, that's just not cool. And so,
right.
if you say no, the
Well,
Jones is down the street, yeah,
well, you know what the
it's,
Constitution is protecting house and home. It's protecting your private land rights, your housing rights. So that's that. So
there
you
was
don't want those
one. It
violated.
was a reaction. that was also in a video I saw. It was a direct reaction to an English law that was passed like a couple years earlier that
Yeah.
said basically soldiers can stay with you. No, it was a little bit different. If there's something blah blah blah, there's not enough room, blah blah blah, soldiers can take the inn or can sleep in the inn for free or something like this.
So it's like
And that
hotel
was
and
the
something.
English law. And it was
Yeah.
just basically a start at the infringement on that thing. And then the reaction was the Third Amendment, basically, as I understood it from the
Yeah.
YouTube video. The
Well,
4-minute YouTube
basically,
video, it's taught me
I don't
everything
know.
about the Third Amendment.
I don't know how much you understand about America. We're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. So where the individual rights are more important than the majority rights. So, like in a democracy, a strict democracy, like you own a bicycle, they can vote to take your bicycle away. The majority wins. They take your bicycle away. In the
I don't
constitutional
know.
republic, like we have, the individual rights to that bicycle are more important than the majority needs and wants. So you can't vote to take your bike away.
I don't have a bike.
For all sake,
You
okay.
have a bike?
You have a
Do you have a
car?
bike?
No,
Do you have a
my
bike
brother
though?
does. My brother does, yeah.
Okay. No, you see,
I have
that's
a
the different
car.
system. My bike got taken away. The majority just took it. Just one day they all
Oh, that's
jumped on it.
bully. That's what's called the
No, I
bully.
understand what you're saying. No, protecting the individual rights. No,
Right.
that's
You
okay.
protect the
No, that's
individual rights
clear.
over the majority. Right. So this right is the individual has a right to stay in his house above what the army needs and wants. So that's the individual
So
right.
you're anti-democracy?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Constitutional republic though is
I'm just
superior
joking.
to a straight
No, they talk
democracy.
about constitutional democracy, I think ours is. And so it's like you say,
Yeah.
yours is, what did you call yours again?
Constitutional republic.
No, what did I call mine? Oh,
Constitutional democracy.
sorry. I think that's what Canada is.
There are
But it's sort of,
democracies around the world, but their democracies are voter based where the individual rights don't apply where the majority wills. So, like in Israel, Greece, things like that, they don't. I don't know how much other
individual
places,
right?
but when they vote,
No, it's
yeah, if
just
they vote,
like in Canada, like we have these kind of, like you say, protecting minority rights against, what do they call it? The majority.
individual against the majority. Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I mean, just
I
like
think
when you're talking about, like because in Canada we have like 3/4 Anglophones and a quarter Francophones. So in order to
hmm
kind of protect the Francophones' rights, because otherwise the Anglophones just vote for only English things, right? We only get
right.
crumpets and no French fries.
Pomfrey.
English.
I learned that. I learned that from what's his name, that comedian. Oh, what's his name? John Pinette. He was
Pomfret.
great. Yeah,
Fried
French
apples.
fries,
No,
pomfret.
or it was
I know
freedom
it's right.
fries. Freedom fries. No, but
Freedom fries.
basically, no, but that it was sort of that making sure that the minority in that sense in any group was protected, wouldn't be trampled by the
Right,
majority. You know what I mean? Like
right,
in
right.
cultural things, that sort of like there are Charter of Rights and Freedoms. That was sort of making sure that the individual was protected, while we still the democracy part is more like by district or by oh shit, what's the word?
Province,
What's our divisional thing? Anyways, by
province.
electoral district. No,
Okay,
like
yeah.
I'm bringing it down to the electoral district. That's where we
Okay,
vote, first past the post. Kind of whoever gets the most votes, they win there. And then we add up all the parties' members at the parliament, and then whoever has the most members overall Canada, they get to rule. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
well,
Yeah, well, yeah,
so
I
that's the
know.
democracy part. That's everyone kind of
Yeah.
putting in a democratic vote, if you will. But I
Well,
understand
that's the
pure
same thing in
democracy.
America. Well, that's the same
That's
thing in
different
America.
thing.
Majority, except in the
Yeah,
presidential election, where a person is up for any kind of political post, the majority votes that person in. Until the
yeah.
president comes in, and I don't know how much you understand about the electoral college in America.
It is crazy soup.
It's actually very, very smart of our founding fathers because it gives a voice to the smaller states with less population than the bigger states.
It is a nutso calypso system that
It
removes
works.
it one step from the voter. And there was these things. Oh, it's weird.
If
I mean,
not for the Electoral College, California, New York, Chicago, and I think one other state would decide the president every time. So that's not fair.
yeah, no, I really don't. Like I said, I couldn't get into it now, but it's no,
Yeah, too tired.
we get
Yeah.
issues here where you get if you get 35% of the overall vote, like kind of 35 to 40, like it's sort of popular vote. Like we've got multiple parties, right? So 35 to 40% if one party gets it, they'll get a very strong majority in the parliament. So we're talking like you get a three-quarters of the seats if you can
That's like
make
our House of Representatives.
40% of the votes. Now, how does that work? It's because of these things within the system, like the Electoral College, how you can have these things where, overall votes doesn't win it. It's a different kind of thing in the system. And you think like more voted for that one than this one. And that's a tough one to swallow. Or that a minority of people in Canada want this thing, but that government has say over everything. The other parties can vote against it, but if they have a majority, it's just like, no, we're going to do it. You can kind of slow it down a bit, not by filibustering and stuff, but similar kind of
And that
things.
sounds like, yeah, that
And
sounds a lot
and
like
and
American
that
politics.
they get 5 years of just we do what we want to do, and they have 35 to 40% of the popular vote. So it's that kind of thing. And how we pick our prime minister is also very problematic in my mind, in that we vote for our candidate, but we're actually voting for the prime minister. But no one voted for Trudeau except for the people in his electoral district. You know what I mean? And then
Not
the
really,
party that he works for decided that he would be the leader, therefore he's the leader of our country. So most Canadians
That's
didn't
right.
actually vote for him, but when you vote for your candidate, you're voting for his color essentially. So it's the same sort of thing. We're indirectly putting a vote for the leader of our country. Just like in the States, the prime president, it's this strange kind of this indirect thing through even the party system, then up to the president, and this sort of flow across the country of who's voting for what. It's so wacky. It's so
It
wacky.
actually works
So
though, because it keeps,
just from an outsider point of view, I'm just saying, from
yeah,
my point
no,
of view,
no, yeah.
both systems are so wacky.
But the Electoral
But
College
anyway,
actually works in that it keeps the less populous states in voting for the
yeah.
president, because
No, I
otherwise,
understand
as
what
I
you're
said
saying about
before, California, New York, was in Chicago, New Hampshire, would always vote for the president, and they always lean left. They never go for the conservative president, so it works.
that. Okay, well, anyways, I'll probably sign off now and
Okay,
talk to
no, that's
you
good. No, we
at the
can
end of
pick up with Amendment 4 tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow's Thursday, Friday.
We'll talk to you. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, you look tired, Fraser. Go get some sleep.
I'm blasted, man. I'm blasted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I never seen you
Anyways,
tired
it was
before.
good
This is
talking to
new to
you.
me. All right, this has been seeking. Yeah, let me start again. This is Seeking Truth, Finding Frank and Fraser, finding the Electoral College, as it were. All right, good night. God bless. See you Friday.